Color meters come in two flavors, a color temperature meter and a spectrometer. A color temperature meter will give you the Kelvin temperature of the light and if there is any green or magenta in it. A spectrometer will show you an actual analysis of the wavelengths of light you are measuring, and here you'll find a lot of useful things. We've already seen that the sensor is limited when it comes to certain colors because of the color filters used on its surface. We also know that white light, such as sunlight, includes in it many different wavelengths. Here's a color reading of sunlight. You can see all the different wavelengths of color that make sunlight. Here's a color reading in the shade. You can see that there is more dominance of cool colors, since in the shade we are primarily lit by the sky. Here's a spectral reading of a tungsten lamp. Not surprisingly, it's warmer. So there are less blues and greens and more yellows and reds. The thing that is in common between all these readings is that they are continuous. That means they have many different wavelengths in them. If I take the sensitivity of a camera, and remember that every camera is different, you'll see that the camera doesn't see all these different wavelengths the same way. What we're looking at now is an example of how a sensor might see a particular color. It will only see parts of these wavelengths and make the color from that information alone. And now, let's look at some other lamps, like a fluorescent bulb or a cheap LED. These are considered non-continuous because they have these spikes of color. To our eyes, this doesn't matter much. We see all these wavelengths. But now, look at how a camera might see this. It may miss some of these spikes altogether, making the light not suitable for motion picture work. This is why some newer LED lights are very expensive and others are very cheap.